Rest in peace, Olivia Newton-John. I just have to say, my heart is broken. And if you don't understand that, you're obviously not a guy who was a kid in the late 70s, early 80s. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the studentloanjustice.org live stream. It is August 8th. That was from Xanadu, by the way. I hope everybody is doing well out there in the world. Lots is going on the student loan front. Everybody hates student loans. I'm just thrilled that you showed up to even pay attention to this, because student loans suck, and they have sucked. And the good news is student loans are finished. Student loans in this country, in the United States of America, are failed. Certainly federal student loans are failed. You know, lending systems fail from time to time, ladies and gentlemen. Most recently, we had the subprime home mortgage crisis, where 1 in 5 of those subprime home mortgage loans went bad. They went into default. Well, I'm here to tell you that we now know that the default rate for federal student loans for people who left school in 2004, so like, what is that, 18 years ago, the default rate for that cohort of students is double the default rate of subprime home mortgages, 40%. And the class of 2004 was borrowing less than 1/3 of what people are borrowing today. So lending systems fail from time to time, guys, sometimes spectacularly. And we are the fortunate or unfortunate witnesses to the, albeit prolonged, nonetheless, the death spirals, the death throes of a lending system in this country. And by the way, don't feel bad. It's not your fault. We didn't ruin this lending system. This lending system tried to ruin us. You know, there's a lesson in here for the people who devised this lending scam against us citizens. And that is that you probably shouldn't screw with the Constitution when you're trying to foist a loan scam on the public. You know, the founding fathers called for uniform bankruptcy laws ahead of the power to declare war and raise an army. Well, this was violated. The wisdom of the founders was violated uniquely for student loans, from which this constitutional right of bankruptcy has been, for all intents and purposes, stripped. So that's on them, guys. That's not on us. We didn't wreck this lending system. This lending system tried to wreck us. And we don't have to take it, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be maybe, hopefully not too rough, but I think it's going to be pretty rough going for us if we don't fight. So right now, there is a window of opportunity. And the core of this scam, guys, lies in the stripping of bankruptcy protections from these loans. If you're new to the group, welcome, by the way. We are a fiercely nonpartisan group. In fact, we are the first, the oldest, the largest, in many ways, the only true grassroots group fighting only and absolutely for student loan justice. We don't do deals with bad guys. We don't have some weird agenda that's foisted on us by one of the political parties or the other. We are fighting only and totally and absolutely and truly for student loan justice. That means two things. Right now, the first most important thing that must happen to fix this problem is the return of the constitutional bankruptcy protections that should have never been taken away in the first place. And on that note, there's a great bill, S-2598, which will accomplish exactly that for federal student loans. Not for privately owned student loans. Sorry about that, guys. But for all federal loans, including federally insured loans, by the way. So if you have FFELP loans, you're in very good shape with this bill, S-2598. The second thing that we're fighting for more recently, like just over the past 3 years or so, is, the cancellation of all federally owned student loans. Turns out the president can cancel all federally owned student loans by executive order. He doesn't need Congress. He doesn't need a congressional appropriation. He doesn't need one dime of money to be drawn from the Treasury, not one penny added to the national debt it's time for this, guys. We fought very moderately, only for the return of bankruptcy protections for the first 15 years of our existence. But it's too late. The bad guys have pushed this lending scam way over the cliff, and it's time to cancel the loans. And so we're fighting for that. And so if you are new to the group, we are a little more important than it may appear here. I know we are a truly grassroots group. We don't have a huge budget. We don't have any kind of flash and razzle and dazzle. We don't have an office in Washington, D.C. We don't have a staff. We don't have any of that stuff. But it is because of this group right here, I kid you not, that we have a bankruptcy bill to fight for, S2598. That's true. It's also because of this group and the petition that we started in 2020 calling for President then Trump to cancel student loans by executive order. It's that petition that launched the whole concept into the public conversation. So the fact that we're even talking about student loan cancellation by executive order today is in great part due to the efforts of the people on this group. So to all of you people who have been with our group for any length of time, thank you. I salute you, and you should be very happy that we've gotten as far as we have been able to get. So a couple of announcements. I'm hoping to have a guy named Kyle Parrish on the program later on this week. Kyle is running for Congress in North Carolina against literally the worst person in the world on the student loan problem, Representative Virginia Fox. So if you know anybody in North Carolina, particularly in and around Boone, North Carolina, Congressional District number 5, let them know that Kyle is going to be with us tomorrow. And you may even want to flag a few reporters. Sorry, not tomorrow. We haven't scheduled it yet. We're shooting for Wednesday, but we'll see. I will announce it soon. But get ready, and it should be a lot of fun. Another very quick announcement on fundraising. We do have to raise a little bit of funds, guys. We can do what we do on very little money, but we cannot do it on nothing. So if you could please make a donation at this time, please do it. Right now, we need, I think, 43 people, maybe 42 people. No, I think 42 people. We need 42 people to donate $20 or more this week. That's a little over $800, which in our universe is a lot of money. Our costs have gone up a lot, and they will stay up through the first week in October because of our email expense. So please make fundraising a little bit easier on us if you appreciate what we're doing over here, and do your part and donate $20 or more. Appreciate it very much. Also, last little fundraising plug here. If you would like to buy a cool distressed student loan justice trucker's hat, see how that's all tattered? That's on purpose. We very rarely sell swag, guys, once every few years, but we're doing it right now. These hats and also some awesome shirts, which Lisa Ansel in Los Angeles was kind enough to make happen for us. Awesome t-shirts. And you can see the link for that there. So please do it, guys. I hate asking for money. I'm no good at it, but we can't do this on nothing, guys. We just can't. So help. So, all right, guys, if you have any questions or comments, and if you're watching us on Twitter or Facebook, I intend to keep it fairly short tonight, but we'll see how the comments come in, and we'll see how that goes. We are expecting President Biden any day now to, at a minimum, extend the repayment moratorium. It's kind of interesting, though. In months past, years past now, every time they extended the repayment moratorium, the repayment pause, if you will, they've done it a good month or more before the deadline was coming up for the pause to expire. And now here we are, end of this month, the repayment pause expires, and we still have heard nothing from the Biden people. So I'm beginning to wonder. I think it's political suicide for them to not extend the repayment pause. Early voting begins in the first week in October, and that is the deadline. That's, in my view, this is kind of like the final countdown, and the Democrats have got to do what the Democrats are going to do before then. Because right now, the Democrats are looking down a terrible electoral barrel where tens of millions of both Democrats, independents, and Republicans who voted for them back in 2020 because of all the promises they made on student loans, those people are now really pissed and they feel very betrayed. And I'm one of them, and you probably are too, but I'm very happy to hear whatever comments you may have on that. There's a lot of pissed off people that delivered the election to the Democrats in 2020, and we are waiting for the Democrats to do what they said they were going to do. Joe Biden said, I will eliminate your student loan debt if you earn less than $125,000 a year, and you went to a public college and stuff like that. Joe Biden said he was adopting Elizabeth Warren's bankruptcy plan, which included returning bankruptcy to both federal and private student loans, by the way, both also private student loans, if you have private student loans. And not only that, since Joe Biden has been in office, his own people, Secretary Cardona, Undersecretary of Education James Kowal, the Chief Operating Officer of the Federal Lending Program, Richard Cordray, they have all said that they are going to they haven't spelled it out with great detail, but they have said that they are going to revisit and change how they oppose student loan borrowers in bankruptcy court. And that's a very nice sort of workaround while we wait for S-2598 to pass. So the Democrats have got to put their money where their mouth is and do what they said they were going to do. And if they don't, I can only imagine how badly they will be slaughtered in the midterms coming up. So I don't know. It's just kind of spooky to me that Joe Biden hasn't extended the repayment pause as of today's date. I know he got COVID, so maybe he's lagging or something. But whatever, Joe Biden can speak for himself. I certainly will never presume to speak for Joe Biden. He has a lot of explaining to do, as you might see on the I Love Lucy show. A lot of explaining. Oops, what is that? Oh, that's the wrong live stream. Okay, let's try this again. I'm sorry, guys. It's always difficult for me to see your comments on Facebook and Twitter, so please bear with me. Okay, I'm back in. I think this is it. Yes. Okay, I can see it. And I hope everybody had a good weekend, by the way. I'm back in. I think this is. Here we go. Okay, sorry about that. We're in. Just waiting for the comments to load. And I mentioned we're hopefully going to have Kyle Parrish. You know, I'm also interested in getting some other guests on this show because we really need to liven up this live stream. I hope you would agree. I'm so tired of being a talking head up here. So, you know, but who I like to talk to, and I love talking to candidates and stuff like that and experts and so forth. That's fine. You know, I'd really rather just spend time with normal people. You know, our members have some just outrageous stories to tell. And it's so important that the public realize how badly people are being exploited, robbed, crushed by these loans. And I know you're out there. I mean, people are everywhere. You know, older people now outnumber younger people with student loans, and they owe far more. That is a defining hallmark of a catastrophically failed lending system. And you know, the human carnage, the real carnage that's out there. That's the part that I think most of the public really doesn't seem to want to understand. And so yeah, if you've got a really terrible tale, if you've got an interesting or compelling story that you'd like to tell, if you want to come on to our live streams, just PM me or shoot me an email, Alan, ALAN at studentloanjustice.org. So, hey, we've got a ton of comments here, guys. Let me apologize in advance if I can't get to them all. Doug Russfin, Indiana says, hey, made it, Alan. Christina Winton says, you sure said it. I'm not sure what I said. I said a lot of things, but Gordon Wayne Watts says, what song did I miss? Any word out on S-2598? I played a little snippet from Xanadu. Xanadu, for any males over the age of 50, you know what I'm talking about. Rest in peace, Olivia Newton-John. My heart is broken. I don't have any I don't have any new news on S2598, Gordon, except to say that it remains in a perfect position to be passed right now. Well, the Senate is not in session for August, so it would be kind of hard to pass right now, but September 1st, as soon as the Senate comes back in session, the bill is ready to roll. The bill is bipartisan. Dick Durbin is the chairman of the Judiciary Committee and the prime sponsor of the bill. Josh Hawley, Republican, and John Cornyn, Republican, 2 Republicans, are co-sponsoring the bill. That is strong. The time for this bill is now. There's also some other things in the offing that I can't really talk about that have to do with the media. But let me just say, guys, we're in perfect position. And the one thing that we're missing, the one thing that we need is you, our people, helping us fight. If you forget everything I said tonight, remember 2 things. First, policy thing, we are not going to see meaningful student loan cancellation unless and until we get the threat of bankruptcy back. Number 2, the most important action item, if you forget everything I said tonight, remember at least this. Go to our website, studentloanjustice.org, and do at least a day or 2 worth of our daily actions. If you want to help in this fight, the most efficient, most effective use of your time, it isn't reading Forbes magazine, it's not surfing around on Facebook, listening to a bunch of idiots and talking heads like me spout on about it. That does nothing for anybody. The most efficient, most effective use of your time is going to our website, studentloanjustice.org, and doing our daily actions. So go to our website, look for daily actions, click on that. And if you've never done a daily action, quite frankly, you should probably do at least a week, if not a month's worth. They're quick. You can usually do 1 days of daily actions, 1 daily action in less than a minute, well less than a minute. You need a Twitter account. And that's just what it is. I don't care if you like Twitter, hate Twitter. Get a Twitter account. It's worth doing. How much are your student loans worth getting rid of to you? Well, I can guarantee you that the effort involved with doing our daily actions is a vanishing, tiny, insignificantly negligible fraction thereof. It is worth your time. It is worth your effort to be doing our daily actions every day. And remember, guys, we're not just a few people hanging out on Facebook here. We have over 1 million people on our group across our petition and our Facebook and our email and all of our various internet platforms, Instagram. We have over 1 million people. And if even 10%, 1 out of 10 of the people on our group were doing our daily actions, we would shut down every switchboard in Washington, D.C. every day, every phone line, every Twitter account that we targeted. It's not all Twitter, by the way. It's stuff other than Twitter as well, but it's probably 80% Twitter. But yeah, guys, that's how big of a muscle we have. We are the largest collection of student loan borrowers in the country. We've got a massive muscle to flex. We could solve this problem. We could get these loans gone in a fortnight if everybody on our group was doing our daily actions. So if getting rid of your student loans is important to you, the very least that you can do is our daily actions every day. We are the pioneers, guys. You cannot unhear that. Hey, Doug Gressman says, many of us are trying to resubmit the public service loan forgiveness application, I think you mean, just to see what happens. And many are still getting mail every week asking for more info or missing info, which I knew would happen. Yeah, the Department of Education, Doug, has no desire or intentions of canceling any loans. That's always been true. Going back to the 1990s with the income contingent repayment program, where 99.999, probably 9% of everyone got disqualified out of that loan cancellation gimmick. Similarly, with income-based repayment, my best estimate, and the jury's out because the first loans won't be canceled until 2027, I think. My best estimate is that not even close to 10%, probably closer to 1%, 99% will not get it, will not make it through IBR. Similarly, for public service loan forgiveness, until this new revised thing that they did, it was a 99% disqualification rate. That is how the Department of Education rolls. That is what their corporate cultural DNA dictates. They can't stand canceling loans. They hate canceling loans. They will find every trick in the book to not cancel loans. And that will remain true even through this revised public service thing. You got to be on your toes, guys. You may love the federal government. I'm sure the Department of the Treasury and the Department of Homeland Security and Department of Health and Human Services, I'm sure they all do a great job. But I'm here to tell you, the Department of Education is a corrupted, captured agency. And they are, in my view, a clear and present danger to this country. They are malevolent bureaucrats who will stop at nothing to suck every possible unearned nickel out of the student loan borrowers. Quite frankly, a lot of people call for the end of the Department of Education. I can't say that I disagree with them at this point. Certainly, the Office of Federal Student Aid should be abandoned. The loans will be canceled, by the way. Even before this pandemic, way less than half of everybody was paying at all. Today, almost nobody's paying. And whenever they try and turn this lending scam back on, almost nobody's going to pay. Very few people will pay. Best thing for everybody involved, in my humble opinion right now, is to cancel all federally owned student loans, return bankruptcy protections to all student loans, suspend the lending program, in other words, no new loans, and maybe put the colleges on a direct, I would say reduced funding for a year or so, and replace this failed lending scam. That is literally the best solution for all involved. A few people will wag their fingers and they'll be mad. Well, fuck those people. Pardon my French. But where were those people wagging their fingers when we threw $1 trillion out to the country in PPP loans? And that $1 trillion in PPP loans all was sort of quote unquote real money. In other words, you had to take money from the Treasury. You had to add $1 trillion to the national debt in order to do those PPP loans. But to cancel these federal student loans, it will require nothing from the Treasury, add nothing to the national debt. And on balance, the federal government has already made most, if not all, of their money back on this lending scam over the past decades. I think they'll probably be short something like a couple $100 billion, but what's a couple $100 billion in an era where we're throwing trillions upon trillions upon trillions out to the country in fiscal stimulus? So whatever, guys. A lot of things we can control, a lot of things we can't control. In my humble opinion, it is not only unwise, but it is also unpatriotic at this. And I don't care how much you owe, how much you've paid. I don't care how much you earn, whether you're able to pay or whether you're not. The fact of the matter is 85% of all borrowers were never going to be able to repay their loans before the pandemic. So in my humble opinion, it's both unwise and unpatriotic for anyone to ever feed another dollar into this big government, nationally threatening, nationally wrecking, unconstitutional, indefensible lending beast. This beast should not be fed. This beast should be taken to the bath and drowned in the tub. And that is a very conservative thing that I just said, by the way. Take it to the bath, drown it in the tub. Grover Norquist, you listening? You fake? Anyways, sorry to go off on a rant there. So I see some comments, just sort of general agreement. I see some little ticky-tack down in the weeds comments between yourselves, which I'm not gonna worry about. Yeah, Virginia Fox will never knowingly do anything good for borrowers. Maybe in many ways, I think Virginia Fox, the best that she does is just by being herself. She is a really nasty, I would say beady-eyed woman, ladies and gentlemen. She says some of the most terrible things about student loan borrowers. And just letting her talk probably accomplishes a lot for us because it shows how wicked, vile, and nasty the people on the other side of this issue from us really are. She is just disgusting. So, okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there at that. Sorry if I didn't get to all your comments. I know I miss some quite frequently, but oh, and the song that I did was Xanadu, by the way. I don't know, I'm not sure if I said that or not. Rest in peace, Olivia Newton-John. Okay, guys, so I will be back on Wednesday. Ed will be back tomorrow. I probably should reiterate, guys, please donate. I'm serious. We really need to raise money, guys. I'm a terrible fundraiser, I know, but if you have never donated or you haven't donated in a while, would you please either re-up your support at this time or turn over a new leaf, make a first-time donation? It's getting kind of desperate on this end, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know how long we can keep doing this increased fundraising stuff. It's just so freaking difficult, guys. I don't know. But help if you appreciate what we're doing, all that we're getting done, and all that we are poised to get done, because we can do nothing without your support. And while your actions are way more valuable than any money you could ever give us, we can't do this on nothing. So, okay, guys, I will be back, as I said, on Wednesday, hopefully with special guest. Ed will be with you tomorrow. And in the meantime, I'm just going to say, guys, get this done. Do our daily actions and be glad and proud to be fighting this fight. It helps. It's cathartic. It feels good. And we're winning. I've never been more optimistic than I am right now here tonight, talking to you right now, tonight, 6:11 p.m., August 8th. Good luck, everyone. Good luck. Godspeed. And God bless.